about Anaximander, who was the pupil of the previous philosopher Thales. Like his teacher, he was a geographer, an astronomer, and a geometer, and he was also a philosopher. So he was a mathematician, a scientist, a geographer, many other things as well. I believe that some recent physicist, Carl Sagan, says that he's the first person to have performed a scientific experiment on record. So there are many reasons for thinking of him as a scientist as well as a philosopher. One of the reasons I'm making this course is to, in my mind, understand the difference between science and philosophy, because I think there's a very important difference which maybe we've forgotten nowadays. So Anaximander, he predicted an earthquake, just as Thales predicted an eclipse. He predicted an earthquake. He described the movements of the planets, and he was one of the first to observe that the sun it rotates on an inclined axis, and he used this to explain the seasons, which is of course what we teach children when they're at school about why summer and winter have longer and shorter days, for example. It's all concerning the axis of the earth being an inclined plane. So we can thank Anaximander for that. He was he was a monist like Thales, so he believed in only one type of stuff, but he believed that all matter, all stuff, everything in the universe, it all had a beginning and an end in what he called the Appearanceion. I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm sorry, I have no idea of Greek language and ancient Greek, I have no idea. But this meant the indefinite. It's usually translated as the indefinite, undefined. It has no definition. He believed that only indefinite things could be the origin and the end of everything, because everything which is definite, which has a form or a shape, everything which is definite must have a beginning and an end, according to Anaximander. Anything which is definite must have a beginning and an end. And so that where it begins and that where it ends, it must be the indefinite. So it wasn't water for Anaximander, it was something much more abstract. Philosophy became more abstract really with Anaximander, in spite of the fact that he was, as I say, a scientist. Now perhaps this is where I think the difference lies between philosophy and science. This proves that Anaximander was a philosopher. He's using his intuition here. It's something which he can't prove. You can't prove the unprovable. You can't prove the existence of something which is so indefinite. And so this is, in my opinion, anything which is unprovable is not science. It's already philosophy. And so when Thales spoke about his monism, the fact that everything was water, this is clearly unprovable. We're never going to prove what the far reaches of the universe look like. It's simply unprovable. It's too far away for us to check with a scientific experiment. And so it's where intuition creeps in. In my opinion, nowadays, many cosmological doctrines, the Big Bang, for example, or black holes, they talk about things which are, by necessity, unprovable.